Okay, so yesterday's video, I think I recorded it, last night. I went off on a rabbit trail and I didn't finish part of what I was saying when I was talking about security. I got off on a rabbit trail and was talking about how I secured my burner phone, and I quit finishing what I was saying about the RFID chips. So, a few things. If you want to protect your money and your identity, quit subscribing to what the government and the media tells you to do. You know, they force us to have these RFID chips in our cards. They tell us that they are more secure, when we all, well, most of us that are not brainwashed, know that they are not secure. In fact, these ones with the little wave, like this little signal image on the chip. There we go. That wave symbol, if it has that wave symbol, that card is less secure than the ones that don't have the wave signal. Tap to pay is not a secure method. Now, I thought about putting tap to pay on this phone. Hang on, my other phone's blowing up. Let me turn the volume off on it. No, I don't want to restart it. Come on. Okay. So, I thought about putting tap to pay on this burner phone. But I don't even know if I really want to do that. If I did, I would want it set up in a way to where I have to go there and activate it for, I don't know, say a minute, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, while I'm about to use it, and then it goes away. That would be the only way that I would want to use tap to pay. If I could bring it up and manually make it work where it's not working all the time. Because I don't trust these RFID chips. I don't trust tap to pay. I don't trust any of that. I barely trust putting my stuff on the internet. Because, you know, they're trying to get us to go digital so they can control us better. And, you know, it's like if you have, I don't know, $2 million in the bank and you don't do what the government tells you to do, they can wipe out your bank account. Then you're poor, you're broke, and they're $2 million richer. Whoever's in control of the system. So I don't trust the system. Not to mention, these RFID chips, they are designed, I think, they were designed with a flaw. I think they knew they could be hacked. They wanted them to be hacked. And they forced us to have them so that we are forced to buy identity theft protection programs, which cost us $100-200 a year. So how many billions of people are there on the planet? Let's just say half of us buy into this identity theft protection program. Well, not even that many. Okay, so let's just say there's about 7 billion, but let's just say there's about 3.5 billion that actually might need the plan, because the system's set up is rigged against us. And then say only half of those people actually get the plan, so you're looking at 1.75 billion people spending $100 to $200 a year in this identity theft protection program. So we'll just say it's $100 a year. That is a $175 billion a year industry that they scammed us into getting into, because they forced us to do these RFID chips. So yeah, that's why I removed them. So what I do, for example, I have with my Community America bank account and a couple other bank accounts. These are just the ones that didn't give away my information, so I use them to take the picture. So like this bank account, the one with the M on it, that one I only have one account, so, and it's pretty much for my real estate and whatnot. So I really don't use that card. So I took the chip out so nobody can steal my information. I need to set up my 3-tier system that I have with pretty much all my banks with that bank as well, but I haven't gotten that far yet. Normally what I do, and I'm actually thinking about setting up it's not really a tier system, but I'm just going to call it that, 4 account system. One for my stocks and stuff like that, which really I only use Community America for my stocks and to pay my credit cards. The rest of them I use for different things. So like this one I use for real estate. And so what I normally do is I'll have a checking account set up, which we have that, but it's a joint checking account with my girlfriend and I. And then I have the debit card account. But then I will also use a chip account. And so typically what I'll do is I'll keep my money in my checking account, which nobody knows what that is, because I have checks for that account, but I very rarely ever have to write a check because I don't use checks anymore, hardly ever. But I call that my billing account. And so I have my online payments set up like through my billing / checking accounts. And so what I'll do is like my crypto, my stocks, my credit cards, any of those transactions, they all go through that billing account. And then I got this account, my regular debit card account, which I will maybe keep some money in there as well, but it may not be the bulk of my money, but it'll be maybe part of the bulk of my money. And then I'll have my chip accounts. All my chip accounts, I basically only have like $25 in there. So if somebody steals my information on the chip account, no big deal. I lost $25. Then I just get a new card, and yeah, because I got I don't do overdraft protection on those things. It's like I have it set up to where if the money's not available, then it gets declined. So that protects me from overdraft fees. It also protects me from fraud, different things like that. So if my card gets stolen, or I lose it, or somebody hacks my chip, then the most they're going to get is $25. All right, and then I'll know about it, and I'll be able to take care of it right away. They can't overdraft my account. They can't charge me all this money. They can't take the money, and we can't take all the money in my account because it's only $25, give or take. Then, when I go to places like Walmart or Shell gas station or Saps Brothers truck stop, where they won't let me use a non-chip card, then I go to my burner phone where I keep all my banking stuff on, get onto and log it onto the internet, go through all my passwords, go onto my banking phone, and which I call my digital wallet. That's the one I'm recording on right now. I get on there, transfer the funds that I think I'm going to use to my chip account while I'm at, say, Walmart or a Shell gas station or wherever I know I'm going to have problems using my chip card or my non-chip card. So primarily I put everything on the credit card because they say that's the safest way to do it, but I don't have a chip in my credit card because I don't want people to steal my credit card information. So typically when I'm at a location, I just make it fail 3, maybe 4 times, and then it'll let me swipe. No big deal. I pretty much got it down where I can do it pretty fast. Some of the systems are slower than others, and I go too fast and it doesn't fry the system, but the brain in the system goes, whoa, wait, you're going too fast. I can't think that fast. It's like, wait a minute, I thought you was a computer. You're supposed to be able to think faster than me. But they don't always work that way. So, I got the system down where I'm just like, bam, 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 fail 3 times, swipe. But like I said, some of them, they don't let you go that fast. So I got to go slower, But anyways, I got it down. And it's not a big deal. It takes a minute out of my time to protect me from having my information and my money stolen. So, yeah. My business account, same thing. I don't really keep any money in there unless I need to use it. And I don't even know why I have a debit card for that account, because I really don't use it that much because I'm not doing business that much anymore. And even if I do, and when I do, I typically use my credit card or one of my other cards. I need to probably get in the habit of using my business account to be more organized. But, I typically put everything on the credit card anyways, unless I'm at Walmart or Shell gas station. So, yeah. So I keep $25 on my chip cards, and I've got a chip card at every bank. So, I think I only have like 3 chip cards at this point. I've got Community America, I've got Great Southern, I have Simmons Bank, and that's it as far as my chip accounts. So there's like $75 in those accounts where, if somebody walks by me and scans my wallet, they might get $75 instead of $25 if I don't catch it whenever they take the first 25. Nonetheless, but those are like I say, those are like my burner accounts. If somebody gets that information, no problem. I just replace the card. Oh yeah. But I hardly ever use this one. I hardly ever use Community America. Typically, I use Great Southern and Simmons for my chip accounts. And then I use Community America for my stocks, all my stock and crypto accounts, and just to transfer money. There's hardly ever any money in there. So nobody can really steal any money because most of my money is in stocks, crypto, or real estate. And trying to build up my net worth and my passive income. And another thing too, when I was talking about trying to build up my net worth to $2 million. Ideally, I want them to be balanced out. So I'd like $1 million in real estate and $1 million in stocks and crypto, earning me passive income. That being said, I probably need more money in stocks and crypto to earn me the passive income than I do need in land, because the land's going to grow in value. Of course, so is the stocks, but the land requires more work, where it's not passive income because I'm raising livestock and I got to actually work. So that's going to be more or less my, right now it's kind of like a side hustle, and I raise livestock to, for healthy food, but for myself and my friends and family. But eventually I'll be making some money off of it, but it won't be passive. Although the livestock is easier than some other things. Like gardening. Gardening is a lot of work. I do have a greenhouse, but I just don't have time to maintain it. But eventually I'll be growing my own food also, when I have more time to be home and babysit that. But gardening and growing your own food is a year-round job. So depends on how much you want to work. I just want to work enough to provide my own groceries, and that's it. Livestock pretty much takes care of themselves. You got to make sure that they don't get any diseases, they don't get injured. You keep their hooves trimmed. Depending on the livestock, because like I said in the last video, I was talking about sheep versus goats. Sheep, you got to protect them from predators, or goats not so much. They pretty much take care of themselves. So now I got to go buy a llama or 2 llamas to help protect my sheep, because I thought maybe the goats might, but no, the goats don't give a damn. So the goats are like, screw you, sheeple, we're gonna take care of our own. So yeah, the sheep pretty much take care, they just stick to themselves, and the goats pretty much stick to themselves. Goats don't protect the sheep, and the sheep don't protect themselves. So I don't want to get dogs, because then I gotta feed them and do all that crap. Llamas pretty much eat the same thing that the sheep and goats eat, and llamas are less aggressive to your livestock than donkeys. Although if I find a good donkey, I might throw a donkey in there as well. Or 2, because most of these animals are companion animals. But anyway, so I want to build my passive income to support me while I'm doing the farm, because most farmers don't make enough money to support themselves. So they have to work another job to support themselves while they're doing their farm stuff as a side hustle, so to speak. Or the job is the side hustle and their farm is the full-time job. Either way, I want my stocks and my crypto, my stacking crypto, to be my passive income, so then I can go do the farm. Because for me, it's more like it's not really a hobby. I'm in it to make money. But for, like Donald Trump said in his book, and I just saw a video, motivational video with Donald Trump, saying, basically, he says he's never seen people be successful, or as successful as they could be, in a position or a job or a business that they don't love. He says, do what makes you happy, follow your passion, follow your heart in your career, and you will be successful. You may not be rich, but you're going to be successful and you're going to be happy. I used to like trucking. For a little while there, I loved it. But now, I don't know, it's just a job. I don't really love it. I don't really like it, but I don't really hate it either. So for me, trucking pays pretty good. I gotta sacrifice not being home, but you know, I've worked out a win-win solution where I'm home enough and I'm on the road enough to where I can make the decent amount enough money to invest in the stocks and the crypto and the land to grow my independence so I can step out of the trucking industry. For years, I've been looking for different ways to get out of this business, but also be able to make the same amount of money that I'm making here and be able to support myself. I've done IT, I've done I was storm chasing, I did tree trimming, I did different multi-level marketing companies. I've done a bunch of different things, just basically chasing the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and it just keeps moving on me. I couldn't seem to get the gold. And people have always said real estate. I even tried real estate, being an investor, and I did it wrong. But real estate is the way to go. It's one of the ways to go. But like this Indian guru guy that I follow, the Minority Mindset, you know, he says getting into real estate is a good opportunity, but it's expensive. You know, you got to save up money, and then you got to, you know, invest in one property, and then it's a lot of work, and then you save up more money and invest in another property. And if you want a more passive way to invest in real estate, then you can invest in REITs, real estate investment trusts. And then that way you can invest in real estate passively without having to do all the work. Other people are doing the work for you, and then you just collect a dividend check. So you're just an investor in these different real estate operations, investing in them. They do all the work, and then they pay you a dividend for helping them out. So really, that's probably the best way to go as far as I'm concerned, unless you really love doing real estate like Donald Trump and like this Indian guy, Jaspreet. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he said it enough that I've almost pretty much got it down. It's like Jaspreet or something like that. But his YouTube channel is the Minority Mindset. You should watch him. He's awesome. But anyway, so yeah, if you want to protect yourself, you know, basically have a checking account, keep your money there where you don't have your debit card connected to. Don't have a debit card in your checking/billing account. Then have a debit card like this where you punch a hole in the chip, and then you use that for most of your transactions. And then have a backup debit card account that does have a chip, so you can use it when you need to, but then people can't steal your information. They might get a couple bucks if you even keep any money in there. I used to only keep $2 in there. Lately, I've been keeping like 25 in there. But before, I didn't keep hardly any money in there, just a couple bucks. You know, $1, $2, $3, $4, I don't know, whatever. But and it just depends. If I used it like last night I was at IHOP, and the lady didn't know how to work my credit card to make the machine fail 3 times and then swipe it. She's like, "Oh, this card won't work." That's because you got to be smarter than the card. But anyways, so instead of going through the whole spiel, I just whipped out my chip card, which only had 25 bucks on it, the meal after tax was 20 bucks. I mean, after tax and after the tip, it was like 20 bucks. So I had enough on the chip card. So I was like, boom, 25 bucks. Here you go. Now there's $5 in that account, whatever. So that's why I have a chip account with like 25 bucks in it. It's like my emergency. The chip thing won't work, so whatever. And I don't think I had my burner phone on me at the time. A lot of times I'll keep it in the truck. I don't take it with me. So I just have my regular phone. Sometimes I don't take my burner phone with me and I need it. And sometimes I take it with me and I don't need it. So, it's just kind of like random. But yeah, this is how I protect myself from identity theft I protect myself from having to get identity theft protection program. Plus, I protect myself from criminals, cops and other criminals, because cops can scan your shit too. They in Oklahoma, Oklahoma was real bad about this at one time. Oklahoma, the cops were sitting on the side of the road scanning every car that went by. And typically they do that anyways, everywhere, all over the United States. And one of the things they're looking for, because our money has RFID chips in it too, our cash. It's not technically cash. Gold and silver is cash, but we'll not go there. So this fiat money that we're carrying around, if you carry fiat money, it has RFID strips in it. And the cops are basically sitting on the side of the road looking for large bills going down the road. And for example, Oklahoma was real bad about it. They were stealing people's money for about 5 years ago and more. So about a decade ago, there was like maybe a 5-year span, and I don't know if they're still doing it or not because I'm not paying that much attention. But they were stealing money from people. And so I had bought a reservoir tank from a lady in Oklahoma, but she wanted cash, and I was afraid to take $5,000 cash to Oklahoma because I was afraid the cops were going to see me driving down the road with $5,000 cash and steal it from me. So and then I would have to go to court and fight to get it back, and then they would take 10% of it if I even won. They would take 10% of it for administration fees or court fees or whatever, and I would only get 80 to 90% back, because then I'd still have to pay for my lawyer. So it was a racket, and I think in California they were doing that to the weed distribution people as well. They were basically robbing the people on their way from the weed stores to the bank. And so yeah, you can't even trust the cops anymore. But anyway, so I only have these RFID chips in the cards that I only have like 25 bucks in the cards that have a chip. And really, I only keep 25 bucks in each of these accounts, to be honest. This one here, I have a little bit more in there right now, but I need to go set up a separate checking account to store my money in, which I will probably when I get home. So, but anyways, and then I could just use this as my debit account. But yeah. So, my girlfriend's calling. But anyways, that's how you can protect yourself. Set up three checking accounts. Have one checking account with checks. Have one checking account with a debit card that you take the chip out. And then you have a third checking account with a debit card that has a chip. You set the accounts up to where you cannot do overdraft. if someone steals your card or you lose it, someone steals your information, they can only take what's in that account. You keep the minimum in that account. You store the rest of the money in the other account, maybe a savings account or the other checking account that you do not have a debit card to. And then have a separate burner phone. Don't keep your information on your main phone. Get a burner phone and have your banking information on that. Call it your digital wallet, whatever. And then have it password protected, as password protected and encrypted as possible. And then that way you can use the internet from your main phone, Wi-Fi hotspot it to your burner phone when you need to use it. Go in, allocate the money where you want to allocate it to, and then you can use your card. It's a little bit of a pain, but it's a lot easier than the pain you're going to go through when someone steals your identity. Or you can pay the $100, $200 a year for identity theft protection program if you want, you know. But this is how I protect myself, so I don't have to pay them for their scam identity theft protection program. I mean, is identity theft protection good? Yes. But should you be forced to have it? No. And that's what this whole RFID chip thing is. It's a scam to force you into getting identity theft protection program, a multi-billion-dollar industry. That's my personal opinion anyways. So I save myself a couple $100 a year by doing this little trick. I also save myself a lot of headaches, because if somebody steals your information, not only does it cost you money, it costs you time. So you're going to probably save time by doing it my way, rather than having to deal with all the criminals and having to go through all that crap that you have to go through to clean up your identity, your credit, and all that stuff when someone steals your information. So, yeah. And to be honest, this is a rabbit hole, but it's not really your identity. It's the identity that the government created for you and tricked you into thinking you have to have in order to survive. And we're all stuck in this matrix rat race, doing the best that we can. But I remember back in the day when I was a kid, we used to write or engrave our social security number on our stuff to show people that it belonged to us. Nowadays, everybody's afraid to give out their birthday, let alone their social security number. It's crazy. So it's like we've degressed rather than progressed. But nonetheless, this is just a little trick to help people protect themselves from identity theft protection program, and from criminals, and from cops, you know, crooked cops. Because, yeah, there's good cops and there's bad cops. There's good truck drivers, there's bad truck drivers. There's good realtors, there's bad realtors. There's good stockbrokers and bad stockbrokers. There's good Congress people, there's bad Congress people. There's good, well, I don't know if there's any good presidents. I don't even know if we can trust Trump, to be honest. When he first ran, see, I liked Trump when I was doing real estate. I was a Trump fan when I was in real estate the first time. And that's how I got the nickname Kano Trump. People started calling, my realtor actually used to start calling me Kano Trump, because I was studying Trump. I had Trump ringback tones on my phone, or, you know, Trump motivational speech ringback tones. I had a bunch of Trump stuff. There was a Trump seminar that I went to in 2007, learning how to do different things that the Trump industry was doing. So I was doing a lot of Trump stuff back in 2007. And so that's how I earned the nickname Kano Trump. And so it kind of stuck. Then when Trump ran for president, I thought it was a joke. I was like, he's just a distraction to get Hillary in, because I thought they really wanted Hillary. I was shocked that Trump actually won. I didn't vote for either one of them. The last person I voted for was actually Ron Paul. Before that, it was Bush Jr., I think. I think I voted for Jr. Can't remember. But that was a mistake. He was, he was just as crooked as the rest of them. It doesn't really matter who you vote for. You're getting pretty much the same results. But I didn't vote for Trump the first time or the second time. I did vote for him this last time. But now I'm starting to think maybe he's the controlled opposition. At first I was surprised that he won. And I saw a lot of good things that he did. And so the second time I was gonna vote for him, but I just didn't. I just didn't vote at all. And then this time I voted for him. And I was really kind of voting for Kennedy more. I was gonna vote for Kennedy if he didn't drop out. But since Kennedy jumped on the Trump train, I voted for Trump. But to be honest, all they're doing, it doesn't matter who you vote for. They keep giving us more solutions to problems that they created. Solutions to problems that they created in the first place. So like Identity Theft Protection Program. They created the problem. This is the problem. So they create the problem so that they can advocate a solution for the problem, which puts more money and power into their hands. So just think about that when you're thinking about politics. 90% of the time, if not 100, 90%, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. 90% of the time, anything they do, they're creating a problem so they can advocate a solution for the problem, which puts more money and power into their hands and into the hands of like-minded criminals that follow them into office. So, let me screenshot this. I'm going to use this as my cover photo. But anyway, yeah. Problem, reaction, solution. So I think, personally, the Biden administration and even Obama was creating more problems so that Trump can come in and be the savior to give us the solution for said problems, to give those people, the elites, more money and more power. That's just my opinion. So I got hoodwinked by Trump for a little while, and I thought maybe he was one of us, and now I don't know. Maybe he is. I don't know. But ever since the whole Epstein thing and him talking about pardoning Diddy and what's her face, Epstein's partner in crime, Maxwell and whatnot, I'm like, nah, he's just controlled opposition. So, and I got friends who are rabbit hole people who have been telling me, some of them like Trump and some of them hate Trump. It's like they're telling me, oh no, he's an elitist, he's in bed with all those people, blah blah blah. And I was like, well, maybe, but I don't know. But I mean, Obama hoodwinked a lot of people. Trump probably hoodwinked a lot of people. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to get a lot worse from here on out. I think my generation is the last generation to probably be able to enjoy freedom and liberty. And, you know, I learned something new today, too, that liberty and civil rights basically means that you only have the liberty and the rights that they give you permission to have. It's not true freedom. It's an illusion of freedom. So, anyways, yeah, I'm just trying to help you protect yourself. This is how I protect myself. And I already told you in the last video how I set up my burner phone. It's pretty simple, really. I just or my digital wallet. It's pretty simple. I have it on a burner phone. It only has internet when I tell it to connect to whatever Wi-Fi, when I tell it to connect to whatever Wi-Fi. And it's quadruple password protected and all that good stuff. So, yeah. CYOA. CYOA. I worry about having all this stuff on the internet because, like I said, once we go digital, if you say the wrong thing, like in China or even in England, they could throw you in jail. They could take all your money. They could take everything. And be careful with gold and silver. I have a feeling that they're going to try and make gold and silver illegal again and take our gold and silver. The last time they did that, they took all our gold and silver. I think they gave us pennies on the dollar, then turned around and made it legal again after it was all in their pockets. Made it legal again, and basically the gold price went up, and then they made the return on the investment. We lost. They ripped off a butt ton of people, and they're probably going to do it again. They've done it in multiple countries, multiple times. They've done it here at least once that I know of, and it's probably about to happen again. So if you have gold and silver, you might want to hide it. Just saying. All right, bye.